Okay, here we go. Hey everybody, welcome to Show Choir Live. It is Sunday, January 18th, and welcome to Show Choir Live.
With the kids jingle belling and everyone telling you be a good cheer. It's the most wonderful time of the year. It's the happiest season.
Hey everybody, welcome back after week 2 Show Choir competition season. I'm Alex Hall. We're here in Chicago, Illinois. I've got some other special guests kind of hiding in various places in my apartment right now, and we'll bring them in as we go. But I just want to say hello. If you've never seen the show before, I'm Alex Hall. I'm a choreographer and judge and clinician, and I work all over the place. And we're here with my co-host Adam Peters. Adam, why don't you introduce yourself?
Hey all, I'm Adam Peters. I'm a director, clinician, adjudicator. I live in Iowa City, Iowa, and work with Muscatine High School River City Rhythm Show Choir as a director there, and other show choirs throughout the land. And I just had a competition yesterday, and I feel like sleep.
Adam spent about 16 hours. Is that right? Is that the actual figure?
It's like actually more like 14, but I keep saying 16 for extra dramatic flair.
I mean, it's stuck. 16 hours on 14 hours or 10 hours would be enough. But Adam was the MC at the Muscatine River City Rhythm Invitational, and I was there with my group Mount Prospect, and it was a really great, nice competition. And there were a handful of contests. It was a pretty big Saturday. So I'm going to let Adam start with some of the results here.
All right, starting off in Ohio at Piqua. 6th place went to Hamilton. 5th place went to Grove City. 4th place went to Cable Midland. 3rd place went to Coleraine. 2nd place went to Marysville. And 1st place with Best Vocals, Best Choreo, and Best Band went to Solon. In Wisconsin, the Burlington Chocolate City contest. I want to know more about this Chocolate City.
Me too.
Sounds pretty good to me. 6th place went to Parkview. 5th place went to Hamilton. 4th place went to Milton. 3rd place went to Broadhead. 2nd place went to Dwight Eisenhower with Best Choreography, and Mayville took the win with Best Vocals. Over at Waukee, a huge lineup of groups went. 6th place went to Sioux City East. 5th place went to Iowa City West. 4th place went to Urbandale. 3rd place went to West Des Moines Valley. 2nd place with Best Choreography was Ankeny Centennial Spectrum. And 2 weeks in a row now, with the Grand Championship, is Johnston Innovation with Best Vocals and Best Band. At Linn-Mar in Cedar Rapids, or Marion, Iowa, 6th place went to Iowa City High's Prep Group. 5th place went to Cedar Rapids Kennedy's Prep Group. 4th place went to Iowa City High. 3rd place went to Papillion La Vista. 2nd place went to Totino Grace. And 1st place went to Cedar Rapids Kennedy with Best Vocals and Best Choreography. Out in Nebraska, 6th place went to Grand Island Northwest. This is at the UNL competition, sorry. 5th place went to Norris. 4th place went to Ankeny. 3rd place went to Lincoln East. 2nd place went to Lincoln Southwest. And 1st place with the sweep, Best Vocals, Best Choreo, and Best Band, Millard West. Up in Wisconsin at Onalaska, the Classic. 6th place went to Naperville North. 5th place went to Fort Atkinson. 4th place went to Bemidji. 3rd place went to Bloomington Kennedy. 2nd place went to La Crosse Central. And with the sweep in 1st place, Hastings, Riverside Company. At Mount Zion in Illinois, 6th place went to Davenport West. 5th place went to Decatur. 4th place went to Sullivan. 3rd place went to Wheaton North. Second place went to Wheaton Warrenville South with Best Band. And first place went to Glenwood with Best Vocals and Best Choreography. Back out in Ohio at Beaver Creek, sixth place went to Nitro, fifth place went to Northrop, fourth place went to Lebanon, third place went to Hurricane, second place went to Garfield Heights, and first place with the sweep went to Loveland. West Branch, Iowa had their contest yesterday for groups 3A and below. Sixth place went to West Liberty, fifth place went to Central Lee, fourth place went to Emmitsburg, third place went to Benton, second place went to Marion with Best Band, and first place went to Keokuk with Best Vocals and Best Choreography. There was a new competition that Chad Alexander put on down in Kansas City called the Heart of America contest. In fifth place went to La Cueva, fourth place went to Jefferson City, third place went to Davenport North, second place went to Jenks, and first place went to ALA American Leadership Academy. In Rockbridge, Missouri, you've got sixth place going to Atkinson, fifth place went to Carthage, fourth place went to Hannibal, third place went to Harrisonville, second place went to Neosho, and first place went to Smith Cotton. And to finish it all up, down in the good old city of Muscatine, Iowa yesterday, sixth place went to Davenport Central, fifth place went to Prospect, fourth place with Best Band went to Cedar Rapids, Washington, third place went to Cedar Rapids, Jefferson, second place went to Buffalo Grove, and first place with Best Vocals and Best Choreography went to Waconia. And there you have it, the results for 1-17-15. Yay. I'm breathless.
Nice job, Adam. That was very smooth.
Thank you. Thank
That
you.
was very smooth. I think you're like still in MC mode, I think.
Yeah, I was. I mean, I was announcing in my sleep last night, apparently.
Can confirm. But you didn't have any ranch jokes, so that was okay.
Yeah, I mean, I had a ranch cup at lunch, though, so it's good.
So, Adam, you watched a lot of show choir. What are some of your favorite moments from this weekend?
I have a lot. Honestly, seeing Buffalo Grove do some of that Michael Jackson stuff was just quite incredible. I mean, they've got some amazing production value. I don't want to spoil it for anyone because I know a lot of people are going to get to see it this season. So seeing that was quite incredible. If you get a chance to watch them at a competition, do it. Waconia had amazing day show that just blew my socks off. I've never seen Waconia so strong before. I also enjoyed seeing Prospect, your kids. They are so genuine and heartfelt on stage, and their show, obviously, I love because it has to do with weather, and you did a really good job piecing that together.
Thank you.
You're welcome. But my favorite part of the day probably was just being on stage and throwing stuffed animals to people in the audience.
That's not such a bad gig.
No.
Yes, I wanted the Lance Bass Bear.
Wasn't that great? They had all 5 of them, and I threw them out at the very end. They also
And
had
you're
this
gonna find
giant,
out
like,
that those were
4-foot
like
tiger.
$100,000.
No, there's actually $100,000 painted in one of the bears.
Oh, hey, Adam, I think your last sentence got cut off.
Oh, I was just going to say there was also a 4-foot tiger that I threw out.
That sounds difficult.
It was. It looked like I was throwing a small child.
Mr. Stephen Todd, what did you do this weekend?
Well, I had rehearsal all day yesterday with Mitchell. I'm in Mitchell right now. I'm actually in Chris Miller's office. As you can tell, he's very organized. Slash not. Yeah, I had rehearsal. We're finishing the show, so we were working on that.
How much further you guys have to go?
We are about 4 8 counts and 3 blocking charts away from being done.
Oh my gosh.
The finish line is in sight, then. That's not so bad.
It's in sight. I know. I actually sat down tonight and was like, I'm finishing my last 3 blocking charts of the season, so I'm kind of happy about that.
That's pretty sweet.
Yeah.
I think at Muscatine, I think my favorite two moments were watching Mixed Company and prelims, singing their closer because that's something we really fought for for the last 2 weeks, and uh, and then also Cedar Rapids Jefferson's closer was one of my favorite moments of the day. I just really liked the choreo design. Shout out to Kevin Chase. But yeah, I really liked the finals were so strong last night,
Oh
Adam.
my
I
God,
mean,
yeah, they were.
you kind of stacked that competition pretty well.
Yeah, it was a good one. It was the best one we've ever held, and it was intense. And then, literally, as the last scores were coming down to the office, the computer shut down because the school district, decided to do a school-wide update. So we broke out some calculators and did it the old-fashioned way, and the kids boogied down, and yeah, it was just like a good old 1999, 2004, that era competition.
When you had to wait for people to
Ever.
actually do the math on
Yeah.
calculator, which is very scary, you know. I don't think I'd trust myself there.
Well,
Yeah, a lot of,
calculators are something that I can actually do.
oh.
I do have some special guests here, kind of waiting in the wings, and I just want to. You guys can pull up a chair if you want. I just want to ask them about their weekends too, because they were all at competitions.
Hola!
They were all at competitions this weekend. Wait, which way do I go? I think it's
Which way?
backwards. So
Kyle.
in depth order, we have Jen Unjen, who's the creative director at John Burroughs High School and a choreographer and clinician and judge and chef. And we have Omari, who is a choreographer and personal assistant to famous jazz artists everywhere. And we have Melissa O'Neill, who is the director at, why can't I think, Batavia High School. Not good, not good. Batavia High School here in the west suburbs, and also is finishing up her teaching degree at Elmhurst in the suburbs as well. So Jen was judging at Mount Zion this weekend. Jen, what were some of your favorite moments from Mount Zion?
I would say, speaking of closers, I loved Glenwood's closer. I was so impressed with what Heath Guimard did, and their singing was delicious. So I was thoroughly pleased. I had never seen that group. I tend to come into competitions and don't know a lot of the groups that I'm about to see, so I was like, Glenwood, what's this school? And I was pleasantly, beautifully surprised by how amazing they were. So that was my favorite group of the day.
Awesome. And Omari was a critique judge at Muscatine. What were some of your favorite moments of the day?
I'd have to say Buffalo Grove, along with what Adam said, that production value is really, really, really incredible. It was one of my favorite shows of the day.
Yeah, I think their closer was one of my favorite numbers of the day for sure. And there's some surprises in there if you guys haven't seen BG yet.
Absolutely.
I want to see. I don't even know.
Yeah,
I like.
Jen doesn't know.
I practically live with Randy, and I don't even know.
And Melissa was hanging out at Muscatine. What were some of your favorite moments of the day, Melissa?
I also really love Buffalo Grove show. There was production value is such a vague thing we keep saying, but I really don't want to spoil anything if you haven't seen the show yet. There's some really, really cool stuff in there, and the front half of the show is pretty killer. So that's cool.
And we have another guest.
Steph Hyatt, an announcer. I have Steph Hyatt with me, and Steph Hyatt with me. She's a choreographer, and she's with her group was at UNL. Ankeny was at UNL. So tell us some of your thoughts about that, your day.
Yeah, I was at UNL with Ankeny Visual Adrenaline, and they ended up in 4th place, and they had a really awesome finals performance. I think the coolest thing of the day, though, was Lincoln East has competed at that competition for 10 years, and they made finals for the first time this year, and the kids were so excited, and it was really cool to see. So that was awesome.
That's really cool.
Yeah.
Brett Epperson is the director there. He's a really nice guy. And he's in his second year there. Yeah, second year. That's awesome.
Yeah.
And they host the competition at, what is it called?
The Lead Center.
And it's like super, super deluxe beautiful. Shout out to Pete Eklund, because I was giving him a hard time on Facebook yesterday about all the Nebraska schools should come to Muscatine because I'm greedy like that. But he said, stop holding your contest on my date. So shout out to Pete.
So I've been messing around with this software to start to use more recorded segments, and I was in Neenah, Wisconsin this week working with a group that I choreograph, Neenah Vintage 2015, the Fightin' Waldos, and I recorded an interview with, they're doing a little story show this year, and I recorded an interview with their leads, so I'm going to play that now. And yeah, this is the dance captains at Neenah Vintage 2015.
I'm Annika Galloway, I'm a senior.
And I'm Christopher Tritt, and I'm also a senior. And we're from Neenah High School, and we played Bonnie and Clyde in our show. It's all about their life story together and going through life first as rebels, and then kind of their story of falling in love, and then ending with their ultimate demise and kind of one last hoopla at the end, you know?
What do you guys think about doing a story show?
Oh, well, it's our first one that Vintage has done, so it's definitely something new for our group.
It's always kind of been that, oh, other groups do that, but we got, like, our
Traditional.
traditional show. So it was kind of weird having our director tell us that we were doing a story show, but I think once we got used to it, it just all kind of came together. I think I'm looking forward to just kind of having the season start again, you know? The off season is just, you kind of grow to miss it, and then you're wondering what every other show choir is doing at the same time, and it's kind of nice to get back into the season and go to competitions and see what everyone else has been working on.
What do you think sets Neenah apart from other groups?
Waldos.
Waldo Nation, man. Besides the red and white striped shirts that everyone can tell us by, I think what sets us apart is that we're not what everyone is expecting us to be. Physically, we're not, 400 people strong. We don't have 38 guys and 38 girls out there.
How many guys are in the group?
12, 13. Only 12 or 13, but I think we have enough power in our group that we open our mouths and we can hopefully fill the auditorium with our voices and make everyone go, wait, how many of them are there?
Say hi.
My favorite show choir memories have to all honestly probably come from Show Choir Camps of America, represent. The camp has done so much, I think, vocally and dance-wise for me, and I've met so many people there. It's just a great experience for anybody who does it, and I think anybody who's been there can agree with me.
Yeah. Good.
Oh my gosh, I actually don't know. What is my favorite show choir memory?
All the friends that you've made at Neenah.
I don't know. Let's skip it. At Wheaton last year, I thought Buffalo Grove was just so fun with all their props and big costumes. This is something we don't get to see.
I got to shout out to Buffalo Grove. Colin Bush, I'm looking at you. You're amazing. Was that the group who had Defying Gravity and the tenor who hit every note?
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure he sang in the soprano octave.
It was beautiful.
He was,
You guys are beautiful.
Yeah. Shout out to Buffalo Grove. Fort Atkinson, always amazing. On Alaska, always fantastic. Broadhead has done really good in the past years that we've watched them. Sauk Prairie, Green Bay Preble has gotten a lot better over the years.
Yeah, just like give a goodbye.
Okay.
Okay.
Bye. I'm Annika Galloway, I'm a senior.
And I'm Christopher Tritt, and I'm also a senior.
That's fun.
Yeah, right? It's kind of cool that we can do that. And thanks to those guys for staying after rehearsal and letting me pester them for a while. But that was fun. We had a good time there. On Twitter, we forgot Lowell.
Mill City Festival. Fourth runner-up, Andover. Third runner-up, Shepherd Hill. Second runner-up, Shepherd Hill. I guess, yeah, Shepherd Hill Fantasy was third runner-up. Second runner-up was Oliver Ames, and first place with best vocals, best choreography is Daniel Hand High School. And I also mispronounced Cobble Midland. It's not Cable Midland, it's Cobble Midland.
We're trying. We're trying. You can see Jen behind me, like choreographing in the mirror. It's kind of creepy.
Oh, I didn't notice. I'm not in the shot. What are you talking about? I'm purposely standing like right outside.
You're definitely
like,
in the shot. Oh my gosh. Well, I want to get into our interview with our special guest tonight. Stephen Todd is an amazing choreographer. He's an acclaimed choreographer. He is a clinician at Show Choir Camps of America. He is an amazing singer, actor, performer. And what else do you do, Stephen?
I like naps. I'm a really good food eater.
Yeah.
Very good. Skills we should all aspire for. So why don't you tell us how you got started in choreography?
Well, I was 14, and I was in the Mitchell High School show choir, and as a freshman, and then I went to our first show choir competition, which was at Onalaska in Wisconsin, and the first group I ever saw as a 14-year-old, besides just the Mitchell show choir from when I was growing up, was the Mount Zion Swing Stations in 1995, and it was Peace and Love Incorporated year, and they did the Chiquita Banana, and I mean, I had never seen anything like it, and I ran up to Mr. Guimar, who's the director at Chatham in Glenwood right now. He was my choir director in high school, and ran up to him and I said, "We could be better." So,
so we tried.
so he was like, "Okay, well," he's like, "Do your thing." And so from then on, I started choreographing, and I was choreographing the competition show when I was in it my junior and senior year of high school, and then I've been a part of the creative team, I guess, here at Mitchell for a while, and then I kind of stopped doing that once I went to college, but then Mr. Guimar left Mitchell and actually became the director of Mount Zion Swing Stations, which is 15 minutes away from Milliken, where I went and got my undergrad. And he was like, "Come in and work with Swing Stations." And then Heather Pistorius, who is the director of the junior highs, asked me to choreograph the junior highs. And so then I got back into show choir, and it just kind of took off from there. And once I moved to New York, show choirs ended up being my like waiter job, you know. So I ended up traveling and choreographing to make money so I could afford to live in New York City. But then I ended up spending more time away from New York City on the road than I did actually in New York. So, and then I decided to go back to school, and then from there it just became a full-time career.
What were you studying at Milliken?
I was studying musical theater. I have a BFA in musical theater and a minor in dance. And then I graduated from the University of Nebraska-Lincoln with my master's in vocal performance.
Tell me about what was it like living in New York City?
It was great. The city's amazing. The opportunities are amazing. There's a great energy about it. The energy can be a little overwhelming at times because, you know, growing up in a small town, it got a little crazy for me. New York City is an amazing city when you can afford New York City. Now that I like have a career outside of, you know, New York City, I love going to New York and being able to actually spend money there and do the things that you're supposed to do. But living there was more of a rat race and sitting in audition lines, but it was still a great learning experience. I think I was a little too young when I first moved there. I was right out of college. I needed some time to mature a little bit, but now I love it. It's a great place to visit. I don't know if I would move back, but.
How often did you get to do auditions out there if you were flying back to do choreo so much in the Midwest?
I would do. It actually worked out kind of perfect because I would choreograph in the Midwest in the fall, and then in the spring when there is no choreography needed, it's competition season, I would do auditions in the main audition season, which is the March, April, May for like the summer stock theaters and for regional theaters, and there's lots of stuff that's auditioning year round that, you know, if you got a call to go in from your agent, you could, you know, try to get an appointment that would work out for your schedule. So I got to go to a lot, but not as many as I would have liked to.
I know you've been in a pretty. It seemed like it was a big production. It's not like I saw it, but I know you've been in like the last 5 years, a few years ago. But what are some of your favorite roles, like as a singer?
I loved playing Pippin in Pippin. I loved being in the ensemble of Chicago. That was really fun. I got my equity card, my Actors Union card, playing Willard in Footloose, which was a blast, which was good. And then last 5 years is a wonderful show to sing. I loved singing songs for New World. Jason Robert Brown stuff is really great to sing. And then I actually just did that show. I was just doing that show in Branson of It's a Wonderful Life. We did a musical version that like interpolated different songs from the musical theater genre to help tell the story. So they were already established musical theater songs, but kind of like put together to make a story. And that was a really, really, really great role to play. I loved that.
Yeah,
role.
I went and saw it in Branson, but I didn't get to see you in it, which made me super sad.
Yeah.
But it was an awesome show. I was so impressed with it. I wish I could have caught you in it.
Yeah, it was a very fun show.
How long have you been at Show Choir Camps of America now? Like the whole evolution, starting from like camper to, you know, talk us through that.
I was a camper in 1995. I was 15, and I was in Verda, Slinkard, and Marty DeMott's group.
Ooh.
And it seriously changed. It's seriously changed my life, because I think after camp, I think I cried for like a week that it was over, because I had finally met a bunch of people that were as crazy about this art form as I was. And so then I was a camper every year after that, and actually Mitchell High School, the summer after my freshman year of high school and the summer after my senior year of high school, we actually were the performing group on Sunday night at Show Choir Camps of America. So we got to open camp my freshman and senior year, which was awesome, at Milliken. And then I went away for a while because I was doing summer stock theater and I wasn't able to do, you know, camp to be a counselor. But then once my tour actually ended in May. I was on the Broadway National Tour of Kiss Me Kate, and it ended in May. And I was like, well, I'm going to go to camp. So I went to camp at Milliken as a teacher. I was in the teacher's show choir. And it was the 25th anniversary of Show Choir Camps of America. And so all the clinicians were practicing the 25th anniversary show. And so I ended up cleaning the teachers and working with the teachers. Dwight was like, will you clean the teachers and run the teachers' rehearsals, you know, learning their choreography? And I was like, sure, no problem. And I had so much fun that I went into the office and I said, well, do you need a counselor in Ohio? And so they were like, yeah, we always need counselors in Ohio. So I was like, perfect, sign me up. So I went to Ohio as a counselor, and I got put in Miss Linda's group as Miss Linda's male group counselor, and it was the hardest and most amazing thing that I might have ever done in a while. And I just gotten off like the Broadway National Tour of Kiss Me Kate, and Miss Linda scared me to death. Because she's one of my heroes, so to be able to like live up to her expectations is super important. And so she was training me to eventually be a clinician. So the next year at Show Choir Camps of America, Dwight called and asked me to be a clinician at Milliken and at Ohio. And then so I've been doing that ever since. So this summer will be my 10th year, I think.
Wow.
But the cool thing is that in 1995, when I was in Verda and Marty's group, 10 years later to the day, I was in the same room as Verda's choreographer.
Holy cow.
Yeah,
That's crazy.
So it was kind of cool. Everything just kind of came full circle, and it's one of those moments where you kind of realize that you're in the right place at the right time.
Wow, you guys should do a best of Stephen Todd year this year for your camp show.
I don't remember.
What is the best of Stephen Todd? Let's hear some songs. I want to know.
The best of what?
Best of Stephen Todd. What are your favorite songs that you've choreographed for groups?
Oh, not just at camp?
No, camp or groups.
I really loved the Enterprise Encores 2007 show.
Oh, we were just talking about that last week.
That's one of the dearest memories that I have in show choir, not only choreographically, but just with the kids and with the message and with that whole year with the tornado and the situation. Those were very special kids, and they could dance. Holy cow! I loved that show. I really liked Mitchell's runway show.
Is that 2011?
Not last year, the year before, so 13.
13.
I thought that was kind of fun, and it was different for them, and it was kind of different for me, so I thought that was kind of fun. One of my favorite songs that I've honestly ever choreographed, though, might be Applause at Show Choir Camps of America this last year.
Sick. That was so great.
It was fun, and the kids loved it, and it was fun to do. So that's the best when it's fun to do. When you're teaching, you're actually like, yeah.
I think my favorite Stephen Todd number is "Dust in the Wind" from SEA.
Oh yes, yeah, that was a good one. I forgot about that. Yeah, that's fun.
Yeah, I don't know. That was kind of the first show choir choreography in that genre that I had ever seen, and I think I've watched it on YouTube about 1,000 times. I mean, that is a really important one to me, though. I don't know that I had seen anything like that before that. And it was just very musical and pretty, and I'll always think of that one when I think of you.
Oh,
oh cheer! Thank you so much.
What's this microphone?
Y'all, Chris Miller has the most random things around this office. So I can be in here, and I can be talking on a microphone and doing my taxes at the same time.
Oh.
Well, you can use any props you like on this show. There's no rules against it.
Yeah, I mean, I've got baby arms here, so whatever.
I've got Giordano's pizza over here and a salad.
Scotcheroos, so these are great.
Honey Nut Cheerios. I don't know how long those have been there.
Yes.
Also a tambourine. That's good. You gotta have one of those, right?
Steven's gonna do something. I know. He's gonna come.
I have a ukulele and an easy button.
Oh yeah. You gotta sing for us now. An easy button.
That was for Ellie Jordan.
Hey, you did have a tweet from a fan or someone named Randy Sage. I think he was asking you to demonstrate the alto part that Jennifer Gulzig would sound like in high school.
Okay. Well, you need some backstory because the thing about it is that I don't know if what a lot of people don't realize is that it's such a tiny world. Like the show choir is such a small world. So like when I was in high school, that freshman year, my first group at Show Choir Camps of America with Verda and Marty, 1995, was me, and it was Darren Dale, who's the director at Oak Mountain.
Oh, isn't it Oak Grove?
Oak Grove. It's some great group in the South.
Amari says Oak Grove.
And then Lance Bass was in that group, and like the next year, Brad Baker, Mr. Baker, who used to be the director of Enterprise Encores, his son was in that group as like a tiny little peanut, like he was a baby. Mm-hmm. And we were all in that group, and we kind of grew up together. And Jennifer Gulsvig and I have been friends since we were 15 years old, and she was in my camp group several times, or we were in the same group together. And Randy and I used to make fun of her singing the alto part in 1996, and it was like all of a sudden she'd get on the mic line and she'd be like, "Everybody blue, it's something cold." It's hysterical. She's like a power alto. She's a power alto.
So if you guys see her judging at a competition this year, she judges almost every weekend. You can ask Jennifer for a demonstration.
Please do, and be hard on her, because she really needs to work on that alto part.
I like to ask choreographers this. What is your process for choreographing, and like how do you come up with everything in general?
Well, it really depends on the song and how connected to the song I feel, or if I don't feel connected to the song. I like to listen to the song a lot, just to feel what the musical phrases are, and just to feel like the arc of the song and how it should build and it should grow, and then I kind of go from there. Sometimes I draw interesting blocking charts and choreograph for those charts, and sometimes I just make up choreography that I think is fun and interesting and then put it into blocking charts that way. It really honestly depends on the song and depends on the group that I'm working with. And I mean, the reason why I get why Mitchell ends up being kind of crazy and why they a lot of times have these massive sets or like these random set pieces is because having those set pieces and having those different things that I have to work around makes me choreograph differently. And by the end of my season, like I'm literally like like I said, 4 counts and 3 blocking charts away from being done with this show. It's my last thing I have to choreograph for the season, and I'm just exhausted by this time. So it really depends, but I do spend a lot of time listening to the song, and I listen mostly to the original, and then kind of go back to the chart because those MIDI files. Oh,
cannot do the MIDI files.
Oh, it's like everything sounds like everything sounds like it's being played by a jazz flute.
Yes,
a robot jazz flute.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. So. But wait, I have to do a shout out because I just got a nasty text message. Cassie Krause just texted me. She's Miss K. She's the director of Wheat North, and she said that I'm supposed to that Mark Myers was actually in that group in 1994 and 95, and he was Mark Myers. He's like one of my dearest friends in the entire world. He's like my heart and soul. He's amazing. He's the director of Wabanzi Valley, and he was in that group too, and just giving me prep turns for days.
Tell us about. I have a question from Dominic on Twitter, and he wants to know how you come up with blocking charts. Yeah, you're Dominic. Yeah, Burroughs alum.
Yes, I love Dom. You know exactly how I come up with blocking charts. You watch me do it.
Oh, Jen Ingen is sneaking the high into Dominic. Hello, Dominic on the side.
Absolutely.
Hey, buddy.
I just think it depends on what the choreography calls for, and it depends on a lot of times it depends on what the choreography is that I've made up. So I think and if the guys are stronger than the girls get strong. The guys get stronger positions when it comes to where their relationship to center is and all that kind of stuff. So.
Someone asked, are you going to be at Show Choir Nationals down in Nashville this year?
I am, I think. I think I'll be there. I'm not sure. I'm not judging. I'll be a spectator, clearly. And that popcorn stand outside of the Opryland is worth the flight.
Where else will you be this year?
To be honest with you, I don't even know. No, I believe I'm judging Ben Davis, Franklin Central, the Mitchell Show Choir Classic. I think I'm gonna try to get to Fame Orlando to kind of see what's going on down there, and I'll be just kind of around. I'm judging like 5 competitions, and that's all I'm gonna do, and then I'm just gonna relax, and try to come up with some more creativity for next year.
Do you have any other like ambitions besides choreography that you work on in the off season?
Yeah, I do. I do. I love to sing clearly. So in the off season, I like to sing, and I like to take voice lessons, and um, I like to take dance class and kind of be introduced to new awkward styles that I can't do, and I look terrible in the class, but it's awesome. And uh, a lot of time during the off season, it's like I told you, I love food, so food is like my favorite. So I love to do different restaurants, and I love to travel and actually see my friends instead of traveling and having to work. You know.
Right. Where are some of the places you like to travel?
Well, my family is actually my parents are British, and so they were born and raised in Liverpool, England, and so my whole family is going to Liverpool in April, and we're going to tour, London, and we're going to go to Wales, and we're going to go to Scotland, where my grandmother was born, and we're going to kind of do a tour of our parents' history, and it's the first time that all 5 of us have been together, so it'll be really fun.
Wow, that's awesome. Have you ever been over there before?
Oh yeah. My mom's the youngest of 5 sisters. My dad's has 2 brothers that live in England, that live in Liverpool, and my mom's the only relative that I have that lives outside of England is my mom's one sister and my uncle, and then their kids, and then their grandkids, and that they live literally around the block from us in Mitchell.
Wow.
So everyone else lives in England, so all my family lives over there.
That's awesome. You're inspirational to a lot of kids, and you can tell by, you've been on Twitter for like 3 days, and you have like 500 followers at least. And every time I look, it's like double the amount when I looked before. But who are some people that have inspired you? Maybe not just as a choreographer, but as a person, like in the show choir world. Yeah.
Oh my gosh, there's so many. My Mr. Guimard is an amazing human being, and I thank him, and I thank this program from the bottom of my heart, because I feel like it literally saved my life in high school. It was a little rough growing up as me in junior high here in the middle of South Dakota. I've got British parents, and I definitely didn't dress like everybody else at the time, and I talked with a little accent back then, and so Mr. Guimard for sure, and Mark Myers is one of my heroes. He is a reminder to me every day that you can be who you are and be all right. He's an amazing person. The class of 2007 at Enterprise changed my life. And but like April James is like one of my best friends in the entire world, and she has taught me how to be strong. And I think watching Cassie Krause teach, she's a master teacher, she's amazing, is inspirational. Chris Miller at Mitchell is one of my best friends in the entire world, and I think he's just incredible. There's just so many, because I feel like the best part about this community is being able to interact with so many people that are different than you but the same as you, and we all find music passionate. It's like watching Jen Unjin work is inspirational as well, and that's inspired me to not only be a better choreographer but be a better human being. Dwight Jordan is the closest thing. Like, I mean, he's like a father figure to me. I look up to him so much, and Miss Linda and Paul, and I mean, just the list goes on and on and on. And I try to be able to learn from everybody and try to be able to respect everybody and to realize that everybody brings a different game to the table, and everyone brings a different background to the table and brings a different outlook to the table. It's hard sometimes, but I think in the end it's worth it.
What do you think it is about show choir that brings all these? I mean, every single person you said, those are my people too. Like, those are the exact people that so many of us would list off. Like, maybe not her, but. What is happening?
Why are we all laughing like this? Okay.
But what do you think it is about show choir that I don't know if it brings it out in these people or it attracts these types of people, but what is it about this world that makes it like that?
Well, I think it has a lot to do with the amount of time that you put in. I mean, in order to be good, there's got to be amount of time that you put in, and so you spend a lot of time with these people outside of your own family. And I think that investment in other people and into this art form creates an emotional level that people latch onto, and they find that they need that. And I think on top of that, when you throw in music and you throw in the physicality of choreography and you throw in the artistic value behind it, I think people get emotionally attached to it, and it becomes really important to their life. And I mean, it's super important to my life, and my kids are super important to me. And I mean, I care about my kids like ridiculous. And like if somebody doesn't show up to rehearsal, the first thing I ask is, where are they? And it's not because they're in trouble, although most of them probably think they are. It's because I want to know where they are so I can make sure they're accounted for. And so I think it's a combination of a lot of different things.
Would you say that show choir is powerful?
Yeah, I do. And I think that that's something that I try to take not lightly because I realize like how much power show choir has, and it can be incredibly positive but can also be the opposite. And I think that there's one of my favorite quotes is, with great talent comes great responsibility. And so I think there's a great responsibility that we have with these children, and I think it's an interesting balance.
I think a lot of people feel that responsibility too, and
absolutely
that responsibility to kind of give back to it because of what we've all gotten from it, right? Like, so we kind of feel the responsibility to continue to pass the torch, I suppose, and not just in like the music stuff, but just the lessons too.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, there's something amazing about, you know, great vocal tone and great diction and, you know, all that blah blah blah. But what's even more impressive is, and what's more amazing is the great humans that come from it, and what it teaches you with life lessons. And so it is, I feel like we do owe it something.
Yeah. And we have to keep it going.
Adam, do you have anything? There's a lot of things coming across on Twitter, and
there are some questions. Someone asked you, it was actually Marshall Titcomb asked you, your favorite memory from Friend de Coup.
My favorite memory from Friend de Coup. That's probably how we got our name, and a lot of people don't know how we
I
got
was
our
going
name.
to ask that story, but I didn't know really how to ask it, so here's the
Oh,
perfect opportunity.
we my sophomore year of high school, we just got done with a marching band indoor performance, and we were going to my friend Larry Cunningham's house by the lake for a Halloween party, like a costume party. So we all got dressed up, and my friend Angela was like a ditzy waitress from Pizza Hut, and my friend Larry was was the bear from The Wizard of Oz, and I was wearing a sombrero and a poncho, and like I have no idea what was going on. That's the only thing that I could find around my house, so I just threw it on. And we got in the car to drive out to Larry's house, and there's this long dark road that passes past the golf course, and there were three people walking on the side of the road as Angela and I drove past. And Angela was like, well, they've got to be going to the party. Should we stop and pick them up? And I said, well, no. I said, we're late already. Let's keep going. So we drove, and we kept going, and we got to the party, and we got in the door at the party. And then once we got in the door at the party, there was like a massive amount of people came running in and said, somebody's been hit on the side of the road. Call 911. So we called 911, and by the time we got up, so this is all so ingrained in my head that like we got in the car, the waitress, the guy in the sombrero, and the lion, and got to the bottom of the hill, and we saw all the flashing lights from the sirens and everything, and we got out of the car and started running because the police were blocking the road. So we started running up the hill towards the lights, and I was, wearing flip-flops, so I couldn't run as fast, and I could see the haze of the lights through my friend's hair and through the fuzzy outline of the lion. And we got up there, and they said that my friend Jason had been hit by a car. So long story short, we ended up spending the next week, the next few days really, living at Mr. Guimar's house with each other and kind of, praying and hoping that he was going to come through. And eventually, he did pass away, and we sang the song "Friends" at his funeral, and Mr. Guimar decided to come up with the name of the group, Friend a Coup, which is a coup is a takeover, and so it's like a really loose translation of takeover of Friends. And so the kids still to this day sing Friends, and it's an honor to pass down. It's an honor to pass down the torch. So the seniors every year tell the story of how we got our name to the new kids that were in the group. And even though Jason passed away as a 15-year-old sophomore, he has changed a lot of lives. He's changed a lot of lives, and I think that's my biggest memory from show choir. I don't really remember placements or, actual moments on stage, but I remember the people that I was with and the people that are still to this day really important in my life. So
that's an incredible story.
Yeah, it was scary, but it changed my life in the best way possible, which is odd to say, but it's true.
That's extremely difficult maybe to share, but thank you for doing that, buddy.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I didn't mean to bring it down.
Hey, sometimes you gotta bring it down. I have a question from Twitter that says, no, we're in a storytelling kick. I have a question from Twitter that says, can you do a quick version of the Marilyn Monroe story?
Yeah, the Marilyn Monroe story. This is one of the things that I tell my kids when we're getting ready to perform on stage. Is there's one of these great stories that I was watching. I'm obsessed with Marilyn Monroe, and I love watching her documentaries and all that kind of stuff. And she was trapped in her contract in Hollywood, and she was trapped and couldn't do the movies that she wanted, and she was getting roles, like that were blonde, ditzy stuff. She was actually very ridiculously intelligent and a great actress. And so she left Hollywood and moved and like left Hollywood and ditched her contract, and people didn't really know where she was. Like the world didn't know where Marilyn Monroe was, and so she moved. She had gone to New York City and was staying with a couple friends, and she moved, or she was walking through Times Square with this friend, and this friend says, "I can't believe we're walking through Times Square with Marilyn Monroe and nobody's recognizing you." And Marilyn Monroe turns to her and she says, "Do you want to see Marilyn Monroe?" And her friend who was describing the story said that it was like she flipped this switch and she became Marilyn Monroe, and we had to run from the paparazzi, and everyone had found Marilyn Monroe, and everyone in Times Square had found her. And so I feel like we all have that inner, like, you know, that switch that we can turn on and become not necessarily someone different, but kind of our better self. And so I just find it really interesting that we as human beings have that power. And so I always tell the kids, you know, before they go on stage to just flip the switch.
That's a really cool story.
I just want to tell you, Stephen, there's a lot of tweets coming in just saying how incredible the story about getting the Friend de Coup name, and there's like 3 or 4 of them that's just like I never knew that story, and so glad that you did share that. I'm super glad that it was shared.
Yeah.
That's really cool. Well, it's about that time to keep moving. So, Stephen, one of our favorite parts of the show is called Lightning Round.
Oh no.
And
there's pain.
Oh no. And this week we're going to do a special lightning round hosted by Miss Melissa O'Neill. So Melissa has come up with a list of questions, and she's got 60 seconds on the clock for you to answer as many of these questions as we can, as fast as you can. So Melissa, take it away.
I ran over. Hi, Stephen.
Hey, girl.
Okay, are you ready?
On your mark. Get set. Go.
What's your favorite color?
Blue.
Tina Fey or Amy Poehler?
Amy Poehler.
Name 2 of the 4 original members of Destiny's Child.
Beyonce and Beyonce.
Bacon or sausage? She counts twice.
Bacon. Ugh.
Morocco or Tokyo?
What? Morocco.
I don't know. That was Jen's question. Pick a dinosaur.
The Tyrannosaurus Rex.
Okay.
The little arms. President John F. Kennedy.
Great. Do you happen to know how old Anderson Cooper is?
Like 43.
47.
47.
What's your favorite light snack?
A light snack? Everything on the dollar menu at McDonald's.
5.
How long do you spend on your show choir hair?
3, 2.
Every minute.
1.
Cassie's couch or Mark's guest bed?
Cassie's couch. Mark's guest bed. Mark's guest bed. For sure.
All right. There you have it, folks.
Mark's guest bed is like a hug from an angel.
It is so nice. It's a really nice place. That was it.
You did great, Melissa.
Oh, thanks.
Speaking of Cassie Krause, just to give some foreshadowing for Show Choir Live members, we've got some cool stuff in the future that we might be doing with Cassie. I know you're watching, Cassie, so I'll give you a shout out. Yeah. I don't know why I'm doing this all of a sudden.
They're sitting on the couch hoping that I don't embarrass them.
I think you did a pretty good job of not doing it tonight, Stephen. Good job.
Well, I hope so, because I was super nervous.
Hey, that's part of the show, I think. So we want to do some video challenges every week. So we're going to start these video challenges, and they're going to be something creative that we're going to try to put together every week. So this week is called the Uptown Funk Challenge. And the challenge is to create a video project around the song Uptown Funk. and upload it to YouTube. It could be a music video, a cover, an a cappella cover, anything. It could be show choir choreography. It could be a montage of different show choirs singing the song. It could be anything. It could be a painting. But we're just going to see how this goes. So submit your video for the Uptown Funk video challenge by the start of the episode next week. And the winner will be the recipient of our very first ever Show Choir Live t-shirts. So that's a pretty, I mean, that's an insane prize.
I'm so jealous.
So it's worth quite a bit of money, clout, bragging rights. It will get you jobs, judging, choreographing. Jen's gonna submit. So
I need a job.
So we're gonna see what happens. Adam's gonna have some great choreography prepared for Uptown Funk, since he's such a well-renowned choreographer.
Just ask him to chasse.
My favorite Adam Peters dance move is the triple turn.
Mine's the Adam Peters.
Or the Adam Peters.
Yeah, I mean,
really
there's like a quadruple turn on YouTube. It's under the video Adam Peters fail. Look it up. It's 7 seconds of heaven. You will enjoy it. Also, I just want to throw this in. A competition just finished. We have results from the last competition. The Patriots are going to the Super Bowl.
Oh, no.
I don't know what that means.
I don't either, but I thought it would be funny to say it.
I have a Colts hat right here, and I'm going to wear it and be sad.
They just got creamed, Alex.
Look at that face.
I was going to do that for a while, but...
I was like, did he hear what I said or not?
What'd you say?
The Colts got creamed.
Yeah, I know. I heard that part.
Like ranch.
Oh, I didn't know.
Like ranch cups?
Like ranch cup cream?
Oh, God.
Jen, you're in the mirror, Jen.
I'll tell the viewers, this whole ranch cup thing they're joking about, I, on Friday, volunteered 3 hours of my time to my cafeteria concession ladies at the River City Showcase, and I filled every single ranch cup that was consumed at that competition. So if you were
you better hope nobody gets food poisoning.
That's a lot of rain.
Yeah, I'm just joking. Never mind, I didn't.
Adam says some amazing things on stage. If you've ever seen him MC or maybe speak at Baint Eklund's wedding or anything like that, he just has a way of putting together words that I've never seen in anyone before. I also want to remind you guys, we're going to wrap up soon, it's getting late. I want to remind you guys about our Show Choir Campus of America scholarships that we have available. The deadline for those. Yeah, come hang out with Steven, and he's going to choreograph Dust in the Wind this year. He's going to bring it back.
It'll be a remix.
The remix. And yeah, so we have 2 scholarships available. The essay question is, what does show choir mean to you? And you can answer it in any way you can think of, sort of like the Uptown Funk video challenge, but maybe slightly more cranial. That's probably not the right way to use it. No, just get out of here. You're watching over my shoulder.
I like to watch this show. It means it's captivating.
I am captivating. So yeah, SCA scholarships, those are due March 1st. And yeah, that's it. What a fun episode, man. Thanks a lot, Steven. That was great.
Thank you for having me. Thank you.
Thanks, Chris, for us again, too, for letting us use the computer.
I will. I think I owe him like 1 million whatever gigabytes of whatever. But, no, I just got on Twitter. Follow me at Choreo80.
Yeah, you've got some amazingly funny tweets, and you pretty much tweet every second of the day.
I try.
I'm never on Twitter, but I'll add you.
There you go.
Added you, girl. Come on.
You already did? Shit.
All right. So we're going to wrap it up for tonight. But that was a great show. Oh, hey, I wanted to ask where Mitchell is competing this year.
They're competing. Their first competition is at Sioux Falls Roosevelt in 2 weeks, and then they're going to Aberdeen, Totino Grace, Urbandale, and then they're ending their season with Wheaton.
Wow.
So,
Wheaton's a good one to end on. Cool. Well, good luck finishing up the show, man. We can't wait to see it.
thank you. I hope it turns out.
Then you find yourself a hammock, all right, after this show's done.
I
All right,
will.
guys. Thanks for doing the show tonight. This has been Show Choir Live, Season 2, Episode 3. Coming at you from Chicago, Illinois, Iowa City, Iowa, and Mitchell, South Dakota. Thanks a lot, guys.
See you guys. Bye.
Bye.
Bye. Have a good night.